Hello from Southern Ontario, Canada, September 22nd. Let's talk about the climate crisis. Oh boy. The only way you can argue that there isn't a climate crisis is history. Other than that, it's inarguable. But let's take a step back. We'll come to that in a moment. Where does the climate crisis come from? Davos, Switzerland. Yeah, Daddy Klaus and the crew. The WEF. It's the same place the panda scary thing came from, by the way. It's only a conspiracy theory that it came out of woo-hoo-hoo-hoo, China. Sorry, censorship. You know what I mean. Hey, there's still people out there lining up to get their roosters. Even though the rooster's no different, well, the rooster's impotent and is the same formula as what was in the original. But they managed, again, in Davos, Switzerland, to terrify everybody so much they couldn't reason cognitively. And some people still can't. They're still out there lining up for roosters. But I digress. You can't argue the climate crisis because it causes forest fires, floods, typhoons, monsoons, hurricanes, twisters and tornadoes in Kansas, cold spells and hot spells. And, it causes everything. And there's everything going on in the world at any given time. You know what I mean? There's a forest fire somewhere. There's a cold snap or a warm spell. See, that clip went semi-viral on social media. They were showing the newscast of the northern European countries. 24, 26, 28 degrees in August. Orange and red. These temperatures are caused by the climate crisis. Then it goes to a split screen. Last year had the very same temperatures, 24, 26, 28 degrees, all on the same date, with blues and greens. Turns out it's actually normal. And every place has cold snaps and hot spells, variable in the climate. The Great Dust Bowl in the Depression, or the Dust Bowl era of the Great Depression. Big drought on the prairies there, the Great Plains. Nobody said it was caused by a climate crisis. It was a normal variance in the weather. What do they call that out in the Pacific, which way the current goes? El Nina and El Nona, is it? El Nina? Yeah, somebody will clarify that in the comments, I'm sure. The New Orleans flooding. Read a book called I Take This Land, a fictional account of the first people to settle in the Florida Everglades. Good read. When a hurricane comes into the Gulf there and pushes the water up, New Orleans floods. It was flooding before it was called New Orleans. Now let's look at a place called High River, Alberta, here in Canada. You know why it's called High River? Because once in a while the waters get high, the river floods, and it floods the floodplain. Oh, it's called a floodplain because it's a plain that floods when the river gets high. Whoa, who'd have thunk it? High River's called High River because it's been flooding the floodplain ever since there was anybody there to notice it and record the event, be it verbally or later written. Red River in Saskatchewan, is that what I'm thinking of? Gee, it floods every once in a while too. Vagaries and variances of the climate. What am I thinking of? The Wizard of Oz started in Kansas. Kansas has twisters and tornadoes. It's caused by their climatic conditions. Some years there's more, some there's less. Sometimes there's a real whopper, sometimes there's a bunch of little ones. It's been happening in Kansas, I'm pretty sure, since before there was even anybody there to notice. That's Mother Nature. But the boys in Davos and the people who are lining up to get another impotent rooster would have you believe it's all real. And again, the only way to refute it would be to look at history, be it long or short. Again, go back to northern European countries where the map this year was red, and the map last year was green and blue. Red and orange, bad, scary colors. It's like the panda scamma. And blue and green are nice, friendly colors. So yeah, it all comes out of Davos, Switzerland. Here in Canada, our Minister of Environment is now Minister of Environment and Climate Crisis. That greasy little Stephen Galalt, appointed by Justin Trudeau, who's a hand puppet of Daddy Klaus Schwab, the World Economic Forum, graduate of the Young Global Leaders. But people think the climate crisis is a crisis. That big swirling mass of plastic out there in the Pacific where El Nino, whatever swirls around whichever way it is, that might be a crisis. That wasn't caused by the climate.